decided to subscribe, we want to just thank you right now. We are not on Patreon as yet. We have not started our Patreon, but very soon we're gonna get on there. All right. So to all of my family members, church members, we want to welcome you to Pastor O'Neill's Review Zone. As I said, today we're going to be talking about the topic why most modern women can't keep a man. Now you might be saying, "My pastor, what? Why are you getting into why are you getting into this?" Simply because I want us to know that the building block of our society is the family, and if we have the family units being eroded and destroyed, and the family unit can't keep together, if you have a broken family, you have a broken society. If you have a broken society, you have a broken country. If you have a broken country, you have a broken world. So the question is, do we have a broken world? Is our country broken? Is our society broken? And if you answer yes or affirmative to those, then it is that the very building block, which is the family, is broken. And if the family is broken, we need to find out why do we have broken families? What is the building block of the family? All right. We are in a process these days in that we are redefining what a family is. All right. But I want you to listen to these clips. All right. So I'm going to be sharing some clips with you. And I want you to, first of all,
They are just
listen
managing
to
you
this clip.
because you are what they can afford at the moment. Listen, young lady, a lot of these broke and poor guys are not in love with you. They are just managing you because you are what they can afford at the moment. Broke guys don't have choice. They just manage situation. You know a man's true character when he has made money, when he's successful, when he has the power to choose, when he has variety, not when he doesn't have a choice. That's when you test his true love. When I
Now, what she is saying there is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, her thing is, her advice to women is do not choose a man um, who is not financially successful. Basically, that's what she's saying. Do not choose a man who is not financially successful. And a very good question is, what percentage of men are financially successful? It's very interesting to note, and I want you to challenge me on this, that most men hit their financial stride at between age 50 and age 55. Most men hit their financial stride between age 50 and 55. Right? So usually women that want to get married, usually between the ages of 25 or 27, between age 25 and above. Would a 25-year-old woman choose a 50 or 55-year-old man? Would a 35-year-old woman choose a 50 or 55-year-old man? All right. The second thing is, a lot of these women want to talk about having a uh, high value man. And what our modern day terminology for high value man is men who make more than six figures. Now, if we go along with that terminology, the percentage of men that make six figures and higher are in the very minority. In fact, a slim, I would 1 point something percent, or let me say 2%. So you have 2% of men who earn six figures and more. So the thing is that most men really and truly will not qualify. Most men will not qualify. Let's take a look at another clip.
Thing that you want to make sure that's in check. Finances. Remember, whenever you meet a guy, the first thing that you want to make sure that's in check: finances, career, accomplishments. Very, very important. If you want to have a healthy relationship, it is very important that those three things are in check when you meet a guy. Because one thing, a man is a very unhappy man if his money is not right, if his career goals are not right, and if his accomplishments are not right. Remember, a man's ego is about what he has accomplished in life, how much money he has in the bank. So if he does not have those three items in check, I can almost assure you, you're going to get a very unhappy man, which is going to take all of his frustrations and emotions out on you, which is going to cause you to be very, very miserable. So
Now, these are some advice that young women are being. This is the kind of information that is being spread out there to our young women these days. This lady is saying that um, a man needs to have money, and if he doesn't have the kind of money that he wants, he's going to be very frustrated and all of that, and he's going to take out his frustration on you. um, that couldn't be further from the truth. And I mean, who died and made her Dr. Phil or Dr. Ruth, or a psychoanalyst? All right. Now, most of us, because of what is happening in the world today, most of us are having difficulties with our finances, whether we want to believe it or not. And in fact, people who have large conglomerates and large companies. Look, the other day, Google had to let go a lot of people, Facebook had to let go a lot of people, Twitter had to let go a lot of people. And these owners of these large, and the reason why they do it is because the monies wasn't matching up. All right. So even large companies are having it difficult. So I don't understand clearly what she's saying in that aspect. All right, in that aspect, because if these large companies are not able to keep the employees, it means then that they don't have the finances to keep it. So does that mean that the CEOs of these large companies are you know, are not good men simply because they don't have the finances to do what they need to do? So you understand the point that I'm making here. It doesn't make any sense. And so basically, our young women are being taught that in order to have a successful marriage, you need to get married to a man who is making six figures and more. You need to get married to a man who is financially stable. And as I said, most men hit their financial stride or are usually financially stable around age 50 or 55. All right, and going up there. So a man spends most of his life, as soon as he gets into the working class, right? He spends most of his life trying to build his finances. Now, they are the very few fortunate ones who have been birthed into, who have what I call trust fund babies. All right, their parents put aside something for them, a nest egg. There are people who have inheritance, who have name, who have been born into families, they have large businesses, um, corporations, and so on. And so these children don't have to work to do anything. And of course, the young women will be flocking to these guys because they are looking for financial independence. And don't get me wrong, I am not against a woman trying to have financial or to be financial independent in her life. I am not knocking that at all. In fact, all of us, whether male or female, our our main goal is to be financially independent. However, the information that is being touted and being spread uh, to en masse, the information that is being spread en masse to our young women these days is that do not get involved with a man because if he doesn't have his finances together, do not get involved with a man who doesn't make a certain amount of money. because he's going to do this to you and do that to you and so on. And this is quite tragic. This is very much quite tragic. And it is not only those that are in the world that have this type of mindset. This is even in the church. All right. There's a podcast that I watch very much, and I want to give credit to these young ladies that that do a good job in my estimation in terms of getting some information out there to us. But I was taken aback by this particular podcast, which really and truly had very good information. But my very good friend, Pastor Jamal Bryan, challenged them in some areas. And I will encourage you to look at it when you do get a chance. But I want to share with you this particular clip, and let's take a listen.
Hard non-negotiables.
Hard.
I
Are
want
you
to
ready
do
for
some
this?
hard
Rapid fire.
non-negotiables.
Yes or no?
We're just going to ask you some questions about some hard. These are extremely hard non-negotiables. Okay,
You can ask us too now.
I'm asking everybody.
Okay.
Can you date somebody broke?
No.
No.
Yes.
A man would say that.
Yeah, I feel like a man would say that. You want a broke girl?
You didn't say, do you want? That's not the ideal. That's
But it's not a non-negotiable if she doesn't have money at this stage in her life.
correct.
Okay.
Is it because you're a man?
Right.
And you want to provide and protect and love in that way?
No, I think because as a man, I'm not dating you for your money. And I don't need it.
Touche.
But you don't think it's helpful if she has her own?
And yes, that's great. I'm going to help you get more of it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amen. Okay.
So no, yes, no. Okay. All right.
Also, what is broke?
No, yeah. I'm like,
Okay. Well, do they have to have money?
Yes.
They have to have a job.
Do they?
Yes.
Truly.
Yes.
the woman.
Is she paying some of the bills?
Where?
If you get
You
get
said
married.
dating. You said dating.
Okay,
I
well,
want
if
to
you
be
get married,
clear.
does your wife have to pay any bills?
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now.
No.
All right. So there you saw it yourself, right? Now, these three women that claim to love the Lord, um, three of them said that they would not date a guy who is broke. That means he is not financially stable. Maybe he could be in and out of a job. Maybe he doesn't have a job. Or maybe he is in a job, but basically his job is a low paying one where he is, basically having, he can get his stuff paid and all of that. But the fact of the matter is, he is not financially independent. All right. I don't know what the definition of broke in today's terminology is, but my understanding of broke is that if, for instance, you lost that job that you have, you most probably would end up on the street or have to go and live by your mother or some family member, simply because that you were living hand to mouth. You get to pay your rent, you get to pay for your car, whatever, whatever. But if you lost that job, you don't have anything. That's my definition of being broke. All right. They didn't say anything about not having a job. I don't believe that anybody should be, looking to get involved with anything and you don't have some sort of means. I don't care if you're washing cars for a living, you are wiping windscreens, you are selling fruits, whatever, what have you. Yeah, you have to have something where you are able to provide even for yourself. All right. Basically, but other than that, what I am saying here is that even among Christians, and you heard the question yourself, would you date somebody who is broke? And the women all said no. So in other words, what we see happening here is that no woman or no modern day woman is prepared to work with anybody in order to establish something. No modern day woman is prepared to work with a guy to establish financial wealth or financial stability. They all want somebody who already has it made. All right. All women, all modern day women are being taught these days, and you saw the clips. All modern day women these